Good morning. This is Don Nieder. I've been thinking a lot recently about models. I think we've all been thinking about models. They've taken really control over our lives. Um, the president and the federal government uses models dictating, what we can do and what we can't do based on their predictions of coronavirus. Governors and state governments do the same thing. Mayors and local government do the same thing. And while I may not like the what we're having to do, I don't like being quarantined. I don't like having to restrict what I can and can't do. But I understand it. I understand that the models are, while they're, excuse the train. I'm at my mom's in Texas here for a couple weeks, and got some different background noises, but love the sound of trains. A lot of certainty with trains and uncertainty as well, because I don't know where it's going. Anyway, I digress. The models that we're having to live under are, they're to protect us, but they're guesses, and they're assumptions based upon assumptions without other, factual data that they can plug in. So it's a little unnerving sometimes to be subjected to these guesses. All right, educated guesses, but guesses nonetheless. So I'm trying to think, how can I adjust how I feel, what I do in that context? And I think really my entire life I've been subjected to models and just never had the visibility that it does now. I mean, the entire insurance industry is built on models and predicting the future, deaths, health, tragedies, events. The government has used models, probably thousands of different ones I'm not aware of or haven't paid attention to, but a simple one is speed limits. I remember back in the 70s, where because due to the oil embargo, the speed limit was reduced from 70 to 55 miles an hour to save gas. And guess what? They found out it saved lives as well. And when they went to raise the limit back to 70, partly because of an outcry of people, because 755 was felt incredibly slow, they had to balance the loss of additional life that they knew would happen if we go back to 70 versus the benefit, which in that case was really mostly due to commerce, getting trucks from point A to point B faster, and for keeping the economy moving along and growing. But at the same time, there was a large outcry from people, wanting to go faster. But that was a model that was based on predicting aligning health with the benefit, or death with potential benefit. So I've come up with my personal model. We all have our personal model. Another name for it is mindset. And I have to remind myself that mindset is going to help me navigate through the future, at least give me my vision of the future, so I don't have to be anxious about the unknown that we're all faced with right now. So, my model is, I kind of throw in me, my personality, my beliefs, my fears, what unknowns I can put in there, and my love, my feelings of connectivity, whatever it may be, I put in, that becomes part of my model. And then I throw in hope, faith, understanding, compassion, empathy, love, fears, again, unknowns. And then for me, I come up with that all equals optimism. That's the way I choose to live my life, to be optimistic, look at the future in an optimistic way, and know that I'm going to have an outcome that is something that hopefully, my optimistic view that I can live with, that I'm fine with. And that I think just kind of taking a view of where we are right now as a personal model that you control, that you're in charge of, because we know the term, we only can control ourselves. We can't control everything else that's happening around us. So bring it back down to yourself. I'm just trying to reduce, even though I've been working on it, I still get anxious about the future and the unknowns. And this helps me to do that, to kind of rein it back in, build it into my personal model, and use that as my guide moving forward. So take time. What is your personal model? And use that as your guide as we navigate around the path that we're on right now, that we've been put on. So hope that is something of interest that you can think about, and is a good way to kind of put things in perspective, reduce the anxiety and the stress that we're all having to deal with now. Thanks again, I'm Don Nieder. Please reach out if you'd like it at don@flowgevity.com, don@flowgevity, FLOWGEVITY.com. Thanks again, and stay healthy.